Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. It's Saturday. It's the Saturday Paper Talk, and it's a bit later. We've left it till 5 p.m. so we can have a little bit of a chat about some of the football results as well, because we've had pure Barclays today, haven't we? Football is well and truly back. Well, it was back yesterday when the Reds played. That's when it counted, when Manchester United beat Fulham. But we've also had a load of games today, so we'll get into a little bit of that. Excuse me, burping, a bit of windy pops from all that Pepsi Max Cherry. Before I get into that, though, make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. Got a load of stories to talk about. We're going to talk about Erik ten Hag's comments on Jadon Sancho. I'll get to that in a minute. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the transfer links we've had. What's happening with Zirkzee? We'll get into that one also with Ederson from Atalanta. We've been linked with him. There's a kid from called Truffert, I think, a left back. We've been linked with him. Also, Phil Jones. Remember him? Yeah, a little story about him. Not to mention as well Victor Lindelof and Mejbri. So it's all happening. Make sure, though, before we get into all that, you are hitting that like button, hit that share button. If you're not doing already, make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Want to get to 800,000 subscribers by the end of the season, and with your support, we can get there. Do you know what, right? Before we get into anything, I just want to talk about something. Just seen a clip from the Arsenal-Wolves game. Gabriel Jesus gets his backside groped and then gets booked for reacting. It's all a bit weird. Sorry, it's just, I don't know what's going on there late on at the Emirates between Arsenal and Wolves. I can't see who the Wolves player is. You might have seen that, though. It's sort of just started going viral on Twitter, or X as it's called now. So yeah, I was a little bit disturbed when I saw that. Anyway, let's talk about Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho wasn't in the squad last night, and apparently he was available. Here's what Erik ten Hag had to say about it all.
First of all, we need squad depth. It will be a season survival of the fittest, but I can only put 20 players in the squad. I have to make choices, and then Jadon was in the week, had ear infection, and he was not 100% fit for this. He could play, but if you then can make choices, that made the choice that we choose and we preferred other players on the bench. But that can change, and that will change definitely in the season, where we have to rotate because we can't play every game with the same. You see already today how important subs are, so we need also the right bench and the right balance.
So there you have it from Erik ten Hag. Not quite the post-match reaction we saw against Arsenal last season, where he said he wasn't training and that's why he wasn't in the squad. The thing that led to the sort of feud and the meltdown from Jadon Sancho, and the feud between Erik ten Hag and Jadon Sancho that resulted in basically Erik ten Hag banishing Jadon Sancho from United training. He had to train with the kids and all that, didn't he? And eat his lunch with them and all this nonsense and locked doors behind himself. Then ended up going back to Dortmund, of course. I don't need to go into the history of Jadon Sancho. Slightly different, though. He did say a couple of things there, Erik ten Hag, and even in the sort of the longer version of that. He said that Jadon Sancho had an ear infection. He wasn't 100%, but could play, was available. He also said that he preferred to play other players and that he needed the right bench and balance. So it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because it's kind of saying, look, he's not been 100%. He's had this ear infection, so it's not like he's completely, ready and able. But he was available. I could have picked him if I wanted to, but I chose not to. So it depends how you look at that. Are you saying, okay, well, that's just the manager being cautious? He could have done that with anyone. It could have been Alejandro Garnacho, or it could have been Marcus Rashford, or it could have been anyone else who would have featured. Or is that him saying, well, look, he did have an ear infection, but then he was available, but I still didn't pick him anyway because push comes to shove, I don't fancy him. Let me know what you think, because I actually think Jadon Sancho is going to struggle to get anywhere near this team. I do. I think you've got options there at Manchester United in the minute, and I don't think he's one of them. I think you look at someone like Anthony, right, and I'm not Anthony's biggest fan at all. Everyone who watches this channel will know that. He struggled to get minutes. Yeah, he had some in pre-season, didn't play back end last season, didn't feature in the FA Cup final, didn't feature against Fulham. I don't think he's going to feature much. And he's a player that the manager brought in for, 80 million euros or whatever it was, a player that he has tried and trusted and turned to quite a lot. He's struggling to get any minutes. I actually think Jadon Sancho, in Erik ten Hag's eyes, is probably behind Anthony. Now, you might argue he shouldn't be, but I just think that's where he is. So, can we expect to see Jadon Sancho getting any minutes? Can we expect him to see him starting for Manchester United? Probably not. Can we expect to see him coming off the bench? Maybe. If he does, though, he might be used sparingly. will he be effective for Manchester United? If Jadon Sancho is barely getting used, he's probably going to be a bit unhappy about that, isn't he? If you're Jadon Sancho, you've just been at Dortmund smashing it up, getting to the Champions League final. 3 years ago, whenever it was, you came to Manchester United, 72 million quid, big signing, England international, the rest of it, and now you're struggling to get off the bench. And the way that Jadon Sancho's been in the past, is he going to react in the positive manner that you'd want him to react? Is he going to pull his socks up and go, I'm going to show you you're wrong and I'm going to get in this team and smash it? Probably not. I think it's best for all concerned if Jadon Sancho does move on. And there's still rumblings and rumours that he will move on. There was links one with PSG. Now that would make lots of sense because that could be him going to PSG and perhaps Manuel Ugarte making the trip the other way around. But at the minute, it's just a bit of sort of speculation. We've not seen any bids that I can tell of. So it's just Jadon Sancho sort of stuck in a little bit of limbo. Manchester United in a little bit of limbo. I want to know what you guys think. Get involved in the chat in the comments. I'm going to get into these comments now because I want you to tell me, do you think Jadon Sancho, 2 questions, do you think Jadon Sancho has a future at Manchester United? Do you want him to have a future at Manchester United? Those are 2 separate questions. You might think he does, but you don't, or you might think he doesn't, and you do, if that makes sense. Loads of people in the comments and the chat. Good to see you all. I'm going to get in some of them. Robert, who says, OMG, J, Pepsi Max Cherry is horrible. I have a bottle of proper Pepsi in the fridge. You, my friend, are a disgrace. That is blasphemy on this channel. Heaven Soul says, ear infection for Sancho, I heard. Very nice, very good. Augustus Wild, much love for you, Jay, from Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you. I've never been to Tennessee. I've been to South Carolina. I've been to Texas. I've been to... Shall I just list places in America I've been to? Or that'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it? Let's stop doing that. Let's just stop right now. I've not been to Tennessee. That's all you need to know. But I would love to go. I hear the music there is exquisite. I've been to Georgia as well. So I'll stop now. Michael Pennington. Mitoma's pretty good, isn't he? He is. Had a few injury issues, didn't he, last season? But he's a good player, Mitoma. And he was always a threat when against United. I think he was one of those players that Adam Wan-Bissaka used to have a good battle with. To be fair, though, Adam Wan-Bissaka usually used to win those battles. But yeah, Mitoma is a good player. Maybe he could be one linked with Manchester United in the future. Who knows? Let me know about Jadon Sancho. I want to know about Jadon Sancho. Mitesh Patel says Sancho is probably gone, but I wouldn't mind him staying for a different style of play. A Barcelona style of play. A different style of play, fair enough. Bernardino says Windy Pops. Yep. Sam Z says want him out ASAP. TDF says get him out. He's dead weight. Fair enough. Stephen Holmes says, did Branthwaite play today? That's a very good question, actually. Can we have a look at that, producer Ben? That's Andy. Now, I've just asked that question. My laptop's just frozen, so I can't see any of the new comments coming on. I'm going to switch. Forgive me. I'm going to switch to my phone. Just so people who are commenting, I can read your comments and stuff. Let me know what you think. Keep the comments coming in. Let me know what you think about Jadon Sancho, about whether he's got a future at Manchester United, or whether you think it's all done for him. Because those comments by Erik ten Hag, they weren't great, were they? Branthwaite wasn't on the bench there, producer Ben's just told me. So even if you think they're not too high, they're not great. And it's obvious that Jadon Sancho's going to struggle for games at Manchester United at the minute. He's not exactly flavour of the month for Erik ten Hag. I know they've buried the hatchet, but it kind of feels like it's just a little bit like a sort of begrudging acceptance of one another. Do you know what I mean? It's like Christmas dinner around the in-laws or whatever. You can just sort of stomach it, but you're not exactly buzzing about it. I'm not talking about my in-laws, I love them, but you get the point. I've had to go on my phone here because my laptop's just froze, first world problems and all that. Let's talk about Ederson then. Not the Manchester City goalkeeper, but this kid from Atalanta. You can see this is from Team Talk, that illustrious publication. Says Ederson battle looms. Man United and Villa have both shown significant interest in the 2-cap international and have made contact with his entourage. So, 2 caps, impressive. I'm not being, dismissive there. It's just a bit of a weird way to describe him, innit? Because why not say international? I think that's one of those where I need an extra word or or two. Put 2-cap in there rather than international. It's a bit weird. Sorry, forgive me. Red Devils chief Sir Jim Ratcliffe views Ederson as an alternative to Manuel Ugarte. Talks are ongoing for the PSG star, but a deal is proving tough to complete and the transfer saga is dragging on. The reports state that Atalanta do not want to lose Ederson this summer as he is a key player for manager Gian Piero Gasperini. However, as shown by Juventus' negotiations for Koopmeiners, every Atalanta player has a price, as sales allow the Serie A club to invest in the next wave of exciting young talent. Basically goes on to say there, €60 million price tag for Ederson. One thing we know about Atalanta, they don't give players away cheaply, do they? We've had a couple of them, in Amad Diallo and Rasmus Højlund, and we paid pretty much top whack for both those players. Now, you might say it was worth it. Absolutely would have paid that all day long. 72 million for Rasmus Højlund, and I think up to 37 million euros for Amad Diallo. But the sort of top end of what you'd expect to pay, and it sounds like that's what they're going to be doing with Ederson. I don't know a lot about him. Seen some good reports. Let me know what you think. It does worry me a little bit that, you know, you're going to have to go toe-to-toe, perhaps, with Villa. You never want to get involved in a bidding war with anyone. I'm not saying we couldn't, win that if it came down to it, but if there's two clubs involved, then that usually means the price gets bumped up. So it can get a little bit messy. I mean, that might be the nature of the beast because midfielders are in short supply, and I expect there to be a bit of movement on the transfer window, especially when it comes to midfielders. I think there's going to be all sorts going on. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to see Ederson come to Manchester United? Do you think we'll get Manuel Ugarte? Because he wasn't in the PSG squad, was he? So people have looked at that and go, he's not in the PSG squad because he's coming to Manchester United. Do you agree? I'm going to switch to my phone because my laptop's still frozen. I'll name this podcast later as gifted a Stretford Paddock membership. A big thank you to you. If you go over and check out our membership section, it's not too late to join our fantasy football league. We've got a members fantasy football league. I'm already struggling in it after one round of football, not even one round. I think after, the teams are still going. But yeah, I'm already struggling. You might be doing a lot better. Go and check that out. You can win yourself £100. Yeah, eh? Big money. Big money. More importantly than that, though, it's the prestige of winning the Stretford Paddock Fantasy Football League, and it's not just the money. I mean, the money's great. Obviously, you can £100. You can, the world's your oyster. But it's the kudos that comes with it. Let me know what you think about the Ederson move. Let me know what you think about any of the stories. Let me know what you think about Jadon Sancho. Grassroots Football says Sancho can still be a hit this season, and we might well need that spark. Akash says Ederson may be too pricey for us. Okay, a reasonable comment. There's nothing wrong with that. I think they said 60 million euros, didn't they? Oh, hang on a minute. I think my laptop's working again. The joys. Matty H says struggle breeds strength, Jay. Very good. Thank you. Very fitting that. I like a little bit of a saying for the day, and that'll be my one for today. Also, can we hit that like button, please, people? Because we've got nearly 2,000 people watching and barely 200 likes, which is a disgrace, as Liz Truss said. What's the league code, says Joanne Bollard. Listen, right. At my heart, yeah, I'm a socialist and I like to share things and I believe in the distribution of wealth across the masses, yeah, I do. But we have a members league for a reason. You've got to be a member to enter it. So I'm sorry. If you want to know the code, become a member and you'll find out. When are we re-signing Garner, says Seamus Williams, only to let him leave on a free for Everton? Yeah, we can do like a little sort of Paul Pogba style deal where we let him leave. Oh, no, how much was it he went to Everton for? It wasn't free, was it about 10 million? Yeah, everyone lost their mind with that transfer as well, didn't they? Everyone was like, I can't believe we let James Garner go for that price, but it's probably about right. I know it's not great when you see a player that was well thought of as a youngster leave Manchester United, but it did seem a bit fair. Let's talk about someone else. Let's talk about Adrian Truffert. Am I pronouncing that right? He's from Rennes. There you go. This is from, where's this from?
It was a French one.
It's a French one, says producer Ben. There you go. That's the sort of insight you get on this channel. It was a the French website. I know it well. Yes, it was a French website. It was in French, so he's used Google Translate, and he can't tell where it's from. So I'm not going to tell you. I don't know whether this is the most reputable publication in the history of France or it's a glorified blog. I don't know. All I know is it's come from France. So you can see it here. It says, with 15 days to go at the end of the transfer window, Adrien Truffert is still in Rennes, but several clubs have come forward in the Premier League. The profile of the left-back, Olympic vice-champion, is also said to be appreciated by PSG. So he's been linked with United. I mean, it doesn't say a lot there about that, but you can see it at the bottom. It says, you got to remember when you put things in translate as well, sometimes the translation isn't perfect. It says, the Olympic vice-champion left-back resumed training on Tuesday. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. Olympic vice-champion left-back is a sentence I don't think I've said before today. Resumed training on Tuesday in Brittany, but he is in the sights of several clubs, particularly across the Channel: Wolverhampton, Liverpool, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I mean... Oh, hang on. I'm getting a little bit of a tickle. He's put L'Equipe. There you go. Is it from...
French for the team.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, you see. No, is that not an advert, though?
No, I think that's
Is that the name of the website, or is that not an advert within the website?
no, I think that's it.
Right, okay. We've gone that far down the road now, it doesn't matter. I mean, we've absolutely undermined any credibility we might have had with this story. I don't know if it's going to happen. It might be true, but it is true. It is a coincidence. I'll be honest with you. I've not heard a lot about this kid, other than obviously he's the Olympic vice champion. Manchester United do need a left back. We don't seem to be in the market for one, although there were reports. Some reports I saw, I think last week, I think the Express and maybe the Evening News said that United were open to the idea of getting a left back if we can get one cheap. Is he going to be cheap? I doubt it, but want to keep an eye on. Keanu, don't hear the name Keanu very often, do you? Other than the obvious, Keanu Reeves. Keanu Tatum says, Sancho is our best winger, lol. We've got to 300 likes, people, which I'm impressed with. Now let's get to 500. Keanu Tatum says, stop saying false nine. All right, sound. I mean, I haven't said it, but fair enough. Stefan Hunt says, pretend nine. Yeah, we could do that. That works, doesn't it? Akash K says, I reckon United sign a left back next season. You're probably right. Do you remember Phil Jones? Of course you remember Phil Jones. Everyone does. Well, there's a bit of a story here. He's basically targeting a career in management after officially, that's not a word, officially announcing his playing retirement. The 32-year-old has not played since leaving United at the end of the 2022-23 season, and his last appearance coming 12 years earlier in a 3-0 win over Brentford. Jones, who won 27 England caps, joined United from Blackburn in 2011, but struggled with injuries throughout his career. My career finished shorter than I would have liked, he told 5 Live. I'm a glass half full, completed my A-level licence, and I want to get out there and challenge myself in coaching. Ultimately, I want to take charge of a team. I am determined to get there. Look, Phil Jones got a lot of stick, for many years. And I was critical of him at one point because I thought he wasn't good enough, and I thought his injuries had caught up with him, and I just thought he was becoming a bit of a farce how he was still at the club. But then I got a little bit defensive with Phil Jones. I did a radio thing once, and he had City fans or a City fan, a Liverpool fan having a dig, and I thought, hang on a minute, I'm not having that. I thought, Liverpool fans, you can pipe down because he's won as many Premier Leagues as your entire club, so shut up. And I thought, City fans can pipe down as well because he's won, I don't know, as many European trophies as you have in the last 50 years, so shut up as well. I was a bit defensive of him because I thought it's not his fault he got injured. It's not his fault that he couldn't continue playing at Manchester United. I know maybe he should have moved on, but there was rumours as well and reports that he had issues around his mental health. And if that is the case, I think it might have been stronger than rumours. I think he said it himself. Sorry. And if he did have issues around mental health, then you should be sympathetic towards that. So I wish Phil Jones well. Didn't work out for him at Manchester United. Had some good moments, helped us win some trophies, and I hope he does well in his coaching career. And don't forget as well, people go, Phil Jones, he'll make a rubbish coach. You never know with players and coaches. You might look at a player and think he doesn't look like the type of player that would become a coach, and yet when they become a manager or a coach, they surprise you. And it can work both ways. For me, I'd have guaranteed almost that Roy Keane and Brian Robson would have been the best managers you've ever seen because they were such phenomenal leaders on the football pitch. But when it came to management, they didn't quite work out for them. And then you look at someone like Pep Guardiola, who's a very good player, but did everyone look at him and go, he's going to be a future manager? I don't know. I don't know whether they did or not. Jurgen Klopp, I don't think he was a top-level player, was he? Obviously achieved some good things as a manager as well. So you don't always have to be an amazing player to be a good manager. And also, let's not forget, Phil Jones is actually a very good player. I mean, people might knock him, but 27 England caps and a few trophies and playing for Manchester United ain't too shabby. Kid. Right, let's talk about Lindelof. He's on crutches. Oh, dear. Victor Lindelof has been pictured relying on crutches to walk as Manchester United's early season injury crisis shows no signs of abating. The Swedish centre-back, who had been linked with a move away from Old Trafford early in the summer, missed the opening night win over Fulham. Have we got a picture of him? There's got to be a picture in that article, surely. Or they just... Is there not? Well, I'm not doubting you. Do we need to see Victor Lindelof on crutches? Can you imagine it in your eyes, in your mind's eye? Or do you want us to find that picture for you? Branthwaite is injured, says Ronald Emmanuel. Yeah, good lad. Ten Hag, yeah, he wasn't an amazing footballer, was he? But he's a very good manager, and I have faith in Erik Ten Hag. It's all going to come up trumps for him. Phobos Sacco Man says amazing players usually make terrible managers. They usually do, don't they? I think Zidane's only probably the biggest exception, because he was a very good player. Obviously, he was a mint player, and he's been a pretty successful manager. But a lot of the time, it's the players that were slightly not quite the amazing ones that do really well as managers, or even a little bit below that. Look at Jose. Jose was barely a player, and he was a very good manager. Let's talk about Hannibal Mejbri. It looks like he's going, and there's no surprises there, is there? He's been linked, I think, with a move away, and apparently he's put in a transfer request. It's just not happened for him. Didn't we pay about 10 million quid for Hannibal Mejbri? And at one point, it looked like he was going to have a bright future, even under Erik Ten Hag. I think, was it the Brighton game where he came on and he scored? The Burnley game as well, thought he had a very good game. And Erik Ten Hag was sort of saying he's the kind of player you want, he's the future of United and all this. And then nothing. Like, barely got any games, played a few. Not really happening for him in pre-season. I think he's just better for all concerned if he moves on. And I'll be sad to see him go, because I like Hannibal Mejbri. But you have to be realistic. Is he going to play any part of Manchester United? Is he good enough? No. Heaven's Soul says his discipline is a bit shit. I agreed. Akash K says Greenwood scored a brace on his debut. Is that true? Yes, it is true. He did. He scored 2 goals on his debut. Well, that's going to, put the cat amongst the pigeons, innit? Everyone's going to be going on about that. Is it his debut today? I think the game's still going on as well. Sorry, that's just distracted me a little bit, that. Yeah, listen, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Mason Greenwood is going to score lots and lots of goals. He really is. Manchester United just had to move him on for obvious reasons and just had to accept the fact that you're moving on a player who's going to bang in a lot of goals. He wasn't going to leave Manchester United and stop scoring. He's going to score loads of goals. It's just the way it is. And it's something we're going to have to stomach. But we know the reasons he's not at Manchester United, and it's got nothing to do with his footballing ability. Let's talk about my favourite topic, Joshua Zirkzee. I think it's safe to say, I don't want to get carried away here because it's only been, 20 minutes or whatever. But I think it's safe to say he's probably the best striker in the Premier League right now. I think that's fair, innit? You can see here some of the quotes. It says Joshua Zirkzee admitted it was an unbelievable feeling to mark his United debut with the late goal that clinched a dramatic 1-0 win against Fulham. Zirkzee came off the bench in the second half on Friday and delivered a memorable first impression as his 87th minute strike gave United the perfect start to the new season. The Netherlands striker completely switched from Bologna a month ago, but was among several United players to get an extended break after Euro 2024. Missed all the friendlies, we know all that. And he made his first appearance against the Cottagers. He says, a great feeling. It couldn't be any better. What can I say? Debut, winning, scoring in front of the Stretford end. So, yeah, it's unbelievable, he said. I mean, yeah, first game, first goal. It's always a relief to have that off your shoulders. But it goes on, and we're just going to work for the next game. Fair enough. Nice comments, nice performance, nice result, nice goal. Happy days. We've not got that stress, have we, that we had with Rasmus Højlund. Do you remember all that nonsense? Because it took him ages to get going in the Premier League, and it's all that 007 drama and all that stuff that people like to post, and then you have all the pressure, and maybe you might start snatching at chances because you're desperate for that first goal. No, Zirkzee's done it. Early goal, got off the mark, more power to him. Looked good on the ball as well, didn't he, Joshua Zirkzee, last night? I was impressed with what I saw, not just his goal, but I'm looking forward to seeing him. David Campbell says, I I want to see more of Zirkzee. Hope he starts against Brighton. Me too. Stephen123 says, Jay, did you notice the banner last night? Old Trafford saying Kaz, Kaz, Kaz. Has that got anything to do with us, with Ineos not being fans of what? Right. What's that? I'm confused, and it doesn't take a lot. Has that got anything to do with Ineos not being fans of Oreo Frappe and the Landlord Rod? Interested to hear. I don't know. I don't know if that's a joke or some reference I'm not getting. Forgive me. I'm just a bit thick. Ines Rushy says, or Fushi says, I absolutely loved Martinez's interview after the game. Can we get the Jamie Carragher tweet up? Because that was quite funny, that, wasn't it? Jamie Carragher, who said famously that he couldn't see Lisandro Martinez working in the Premier League because he's too short. And then, obviously, Lisandro Martinez had a very, very good first season. Jamie Carragher, to be fair, sort of ate a little bit of humble pie and admitted he got it wrong. He admitted he got it wrong to our Joe Smith not long after he said it. I think he said it, and then a few months later, Joe Smith spoke to him as part of the overlap and asked him about that and said, you said that you didn't think Martinez was good enough because he wasn't tall enough, and you were wrong. Have we got the actual...
Oh, sorry,
yeah. Right, producer Ben here, he's doing a good job, yeah. He is. It's only his second time running the production desk, so he's doing a good one, yeah. But you just got to be a little bit patient with him, that's all. Yeah? He's a good lad. He's a good kid. He's getting there. Sean Murphy says, where's Andy Tate? He's just having a bit of a breather, I think. Don't worry, you'll get Andy Tate back on the channel. When he's ready to come back, he's always welcome. Johan Bollard says, Roy Keane was loving Martinez. He's a proper Roy Keane type of player, isn't he, Lisandro Martinez? Caramel Thunder says, we were all loving Martinez. Yes. I don't know what's going on. I'll name this podcast later, Oreo Frappe with cream. Mate, I don't get it.
I can't find the actual original tweet.
No, have you got Jamie? Go on to Jamie Carragher's Twitter.
Right, let's have a look.
Right, let's do this together. Jamie Carragher. See, you're looking behind the curtain here. This is out. There you go. No, you had it then.
All right.
There. His profile pic.
Oh, that one.
Yes. So that, scroll down a little bit. No, up, sorry. So you can see. So he's made that his profile pic, Jamie Carragher. So he's taking it on the chin, innit? He got it wrong. He's having a bit of a laugh. Loads of people are trolling him, by the way, and replying to him about that. He's getting it from both barrels. He's getting it from United fans, and he's getting it from Liverpool fans who aren't happy that he's put a United player on his profile picture. I think it's all right. I think you got to just hold your hands up and say, I got that one wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough. And I think that's the best way to handle it. Just own it. Do you know what I mean? Own it. Own the fact you got that one wrong. Let's face facts. He's done a lot worse than that, hasn't he? Right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Make sure, if you've not done so already, you are hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. I'm going to be back tomorrow from my kitchen. We'll have a bit of a news roundup. I quite like the live that we've done today. We've had a good response. So we might even do a live tomorrow from my kitchen. Yeah, well, should we do a bit of that? Fancy that? Yeah? Why not? Let's do that tomorrow. Let's have another live tomorrow afternoon. Should we have it? When do you want to have it? Should we have it sort of lunchtime? Yeah? Let me know in the comments. Like, when's a nice time for you guys for a live? We usually do it about 11:15, but should we do it a little bit later because it's a Sunday? It's up to you guys. Let me know. No one's answering. They're just going, nice one, Jay. Cheers, Jay. Thank you. Says Punch Pate. Phobo Sacco Man says, nice one, Jay. Altered Shape says, latest, Jay. Have a great evening, mate. What are you going to be cooking, says Mitesh Patel. Nothing. 12:30 says Akash Casey. Thank you. Someone's answering me. There we go. We're in. So we'll have a little think. Bisso Albert says, you love your kitchen a lot. Yeah, I do. It's one of my favourite rooms. 12:30 says Heaven Sold. 12 says Kieran. Similar time as now. 23:05 says Sean Murphy. That's insane. Thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. Been a really good one. We're going to be back tomorrow at some point. We'll let you know when, for a little chat in my kitchen. I've been Jay. This has been The Paper Talk. Shout out as well to producer Ben. Thanks for watching.